this, but that's kind of why I wrote that, because it's just, it very, very simply just says, look, either violence is wrong, either stealing is wrong, or it's not. You know, you can dress it up, you can call it what you want, but it's either wrong or it's not, regardless of who's doing it. Having a badge doesn't change morality. It doesn't change whether what you're doing is right or wrong. And I just think that this is sort of, if we don't address this fundamental issue, if we don't address the fact that our society is founded on violence and on coercive violence. So I'm not a pacifist. I'm not arguing that violence is never justified. I certainly support violence in self-defense, but coercive, aggressive violence is I don't support that, and it's sort of at the foundation of our society. I mean, government is founded in violence, and it's founded in coercion, taxation, all the things that make it go are based in violence. And unless we address that, you know, we can have as many revolutions or levolutions as we want. We can overthrow as many bad governments. We can outvote them. We can, you know, get all kinds of great replacements, put in new systems. You know, it's kind of like the revolution in Egypt. It was so exciting to see all these people coming out into the streets and overthrow their dictator. And then the question is, well, what are we going to have next? And it's like, well, we'll have a participatory democracy. That's not going to do it. I mean, even that it's still founded in violence. And I think the biggest thing that we can do right now, and in the future, because I'm speaking into the future, you know, the most important thing is not how to get rid of government. It's not how to get rid of all these onerous, you know, regulations or corrupt police departments or anything really. That's not the issue. That's going to go away. The question is, what are we going to build in its place, and how are we going to make sure that the groundwork is there for a society that's not founded in violence, that doesn't tell its citizens violence is okay, that it's acceptable to use violence to get what you want. And I think in really sort of specific terms, we have a great opportunity if and when, and I think it is when, government starts collapsing and starts becoming unable to provide the services that people have become dependent on. It is going to provide this opportunity for people to come in and say, okay, well, you know what, we're going to do that. We're going to start providing protection services. We're going to start providing fire services. We're going to, you know, start coming in and doing whatever it is you think, you know, alternative money, things that the government is not only sort of monopolizing, but is also doing a really, really bad job of, and you know, causing a lot of harm by its control, by virtue of its control. You know, we have an opportunity to come in and start creating those things on our own. I think that's kind of about all I have to say without sort of repeating myself. I just feel like the most important thing to focus on is not fighting the state, it's not fighting government, but fighting the bad ideas that keep it in place, fighting this belief that's everywhere in our society that we need it, and highlighting the fact that, in fact, government causes, you know, all of the problems you look at in the world, the big problems, the wars, you know, obviously not weather, but, you know, the wars, poverty, crime, all of these things are either caused or exacerbated by government. Government doesn't make these things better, it makes them worse. And until enough people recognize that, we're just going to keep going in the same cycle. We're just going to, you know, change one leader for another. You know, okay, we had a Republican last time, we'll have a Democrat this time, and it'll just be the same thing over and over again. Or, oh, okay, we didn't like that form of government, we'll have another form of government. We need to start, you know, really laying the groundwork for having a society that doesn't have government at all.